The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering. Is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like, we're not getting any better.
We break it all down like overtime.
Looking to get it into space. What a pass! Touchdown! Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And
that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball.
To the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We run the plays, we own the soul.
It's a real year. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by it.
Reading the field like a poet in rhyme.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting.
Breaking down ball like a heat blade. 2 minds, 1 vibe on the same frequency.
Oh, let's go!
This knocked me off.
We see through the hype, call out the thief. This ain't a game, this is
Watch every game the rest of the season in the NBA.
So don't you go stand there. You're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. And this is March. We've got the Final Four set, the men's and the women's tournaments this year. The community bracket is actually cooking. It's cooking up right now.
Number 1 right now, isn't it?
We got both of them above 90 points already. So I think it's number 1.
Here we go. I got the okay. So women's side, it's actually third place out of our entries with 74, but it's still pretty good. Still got 80 possible points. Let's see how we did predicting the final four. Well, we didn't want to be boring and go all number one seeds, but
That's how it went down.
that's how it ended up going down. So we were right, except for we had West Virginia kind of being the Cinderella to take out Texas. They obviously didn't even get past Kentucky, so is what it is. But yeah, pretty good. Actually, here we go. Now it's my page hadn't refreshed. We do got it's 90 points, and in second place.
Our men's bracket's at 90 points as well, and that's in first place, 1 point above Jimmy Covers.
And that's, I mean, what I'm gonna just toot my own horn here. That's not Jimmy Covers. He forgot to make one. I gave him one of my brackets, so he's getting the credit, I guess. But like I did all the work, so it is what it is.
True.
My main bracket's in fourth place, and then your main bracket's right behind. So yeah, whoever it's going to be a big flip though. Whoever wins the Arizona Michigan game, that'll basically
it's a toss up.
Probably determine who ends up finishing in first in this because there's a lot of points to be had there. But yeah, 90 points out of the community bracket. How did we do on our final four? Well, we were 75%. It was just Duke choking against the UConn that cost us. Obviously, we didn't even have UConn get to the Elite Eight, but there they were.
Yeah, we had Michigan State beating them.
Well, some good representation from the Big Ten in the Final Four. 2 teams made it. There was a real possibility that more could have, but Big Ten probably the most successful conference in this tournament. I mean, you had Nebraska making their first tournament, winning the first 2 games. Iowa to the Elite Eight. Purdue to the Elite Eight. Michigan's and Illinois are in the Final Four. Michigan State made it all the way to the Sweet 16. They had a very successful tournament. Yeah. So I would say that was probably the best conference of the tournament. But yeah, community bracket it's absolutely cooking. Good chance that it ends up being in first place. So good job, everyone. We did this as a community.
Good.
Okay, which tournament do we start with? We go women's or men's to open it up here?
I think we got to go with the women's side. We got to give some credit to these 1 seeds, honestly. I wanted to start with UConn just because of the crazy stat line that Hannah Hidalgo put up.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
5'6" and led the team in rebounds.
To the Regional 1 Fort Worth Sweet 16 we go. Number 6 seed Notre Dame taking on the number 2 seed Vanderbilt Commodores. Hannah Hidalgo versus Michaela Blakes. Some high-level guard play. And yes, as you mentioned, Hidalgo with the triple-double. 31 points, 11 rebounds, 10 steals, 7 assists, and a blocked shot in there for good Mathers.
And a block.
Yeah. So she was doing it all here. Really just she's had a great tournament. Got a little support from Cassandra Prosper, who's been really good for him too. But as you see on this sheet, not a lot of other scoring coming from other players, but they just played really good defense. But ultimately, that was going to be a big issue for them in the tournament. It was kind of like the Commodores kind of had that same issue. Michaela Blakes and Aubrey Galvin both scoring bunches, but then after that, they were just way more inefficient. So 35% from the field in the game is kind of insane.
Yeah, neither team shot very good in this one. it was just Notre Dame that shot a little bit better from the field. They were 1 of 17 from 3.
Yeah.
So if anyone really let this game go, it's Vanderbilt.
Just couldn't make their twos. I mean, they just got to the line a lot, which was probably what kept them in it. And their rebounding, 44 to 30 was the rebound differential there between in the Commodores' favor. But then the 23 turnovers, 16 steals for Notre Dame in this one. A lot, and Hidalgo accounting for most of those.
And they lost that turnover battle by 10, 23 to 13. Really good defensive pressure from Notre Dame in this one. Just realizing that they only had 2 scorers, and if the ball's in anyone else's hands, like Sasha Washington only took 1 shot, had 6 turnovers. Aubrey Galvin had 6 turnovers. If it wasn't in Blake's hands, they were going to trap you and try to get the steal. It was working every time.
I mean, it's like Blake's and Galvin, neither were super efficient. Michaela was 7 of 26. That's just like they did not have a lot of confidence to go to anybody else, but she was honestly kind of struggling to shoot from the field. Couldn't hit a 3. It was for a team that would look really good all season. It was a tough way for them to go out, but credit to Notre Dame. They knew how to exploit it. I mean, Blake's just there wasn't a ton of trust, it felt like, in their teammates. She didn't have a lot of assists in this one, only 3. So when she did get past her teammates, they weren't knocking it down, and I think she just started trying to take a lot more shots on her own. So just all fell apart for the Commodores in the worst time.
Some other interesting stats here on the game. Vanderbilt's largest lead was 3 points, and they only led for 6% of the game.
Wow.
Compared to Notre Dame. The largest lead of 12, and they led for about 81% of the game, aside from when it was tied. This is what sucks, though. 54 points in the paint for Notre Dame and 20 for Vanderbilt.
Right.
They just couldn't make anything.
Right. I mean, especially like a team like Notre Dame they're not very big. Like they don't have a ton of size. Like, you don't expect them to just dominate you in the paint. But I mean, like Hannah is a good posting up as a guard. And then Prosper, not super big. Like she doesn't more lanky than anything. It does have a lot of finesse in there, so you shouldn't. But like Michaela's like a pretty big for a guard, so like you'd think she'd have more success trying to post up and work in the paint, but the offense was all sorts of out of whack for Vandy in this one. If they weren't going to get into the line, this game could have probably gotten a lot more of a blowout.
Tough ending for Vanderbilt. They had 2 shots to get a game-tying bucket when at 67-64, and Michaela Blakes missed the first one, got the offensive rebound, and it was yet another steal from Hannah Hidalgo. That was the dagger in this one. It was their defense.
Put it away. Well, our other Sweet 16 matchup in Regional 1, UConn Huskies taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Bit of a defensive struggle here, but UConn's defense was just absolutely smothering. They didn't allow more than 17 points in the quarter. Connecticut was,
God.
UNC was probably feeling good being up 1 point at the end of the first, 12-11. It was a bit of both teams kind of got out to a slow start, and then the Huskies proceeded over the next 2 quarters to hold the Tar Heels to 8 and 5 points, outscoring them 20-5 in the third quarter and really pulling away in this one. And a lot of
Some
those
loss as a team is nasty too.
Yeah, a lot of those 17 fourth quarter points came in garbage time when, UConn kind of let the foot off the gas. This just shows how versatile this UConn team is, though, and why they're here, why they blew so many teams out, because they're great offensively, but they struggled and were kind of really inefficient to start this game. I mean, they were 4-20 from three, and early on the shots just weren't falling, but because of their defense just took control in this game, and they were able to honestly turn a lot of defense into offense. 18 steals and 7 blocked shots in this one. UConn 24 turnovers for UNC.
They shot just as bad. They had 60 shot attempts total, and they only made 17. Oh my god. You had this one in the palm of your hands after the first quarter. KK Arnold couldn't hit a shot to save her life in this one.
Yeah.
He was 1 for 9. All right, Ashlyn Shade, KK Arnold, and Sarah Williams. That's three starters that didn't even make more than one shot.
Right. You had, Azzy was pretty off too. She did hit 2 threes. She was 2 of 3 from deep, so that was pretty big for them. But she couldn't score inside at all. It felt like she was really having a tough time hitting her twos. Could drive into the basket, just wasn't working for her. But eventually, she got some of those transition points. There was Sarah Strong and Bianca Quinez who really took control in this game. Sarah with the double-double, 21 and 10. She had 5 steals, blocked 2 shots as well. The other Sarah Williams, blocked 3 shots and had 8 rebounds. So, just relying on their defense and their bigs to make some plays. Bianca herself, 4 steals, 1 block shot. So it was the centers and the forwards out there just really getting into their spots in the post, slowing this game down. I mean, it was really a slow pace, and then it's got away from UConn because they couldn't stop turning the ball over, and that's when the Huskies just started getting into transition and getting more points that way.
Quick change in the game plan. You can see it too. They started to play inside out more, and they got away from those 3-point shots that they weren't really able to hit. And in the second quarter, it's 17-8 scoring differential when you start feeding the bigs down low on a team that just really has no chance against them.
Yeah, UConn just not one of those teams that you want to get into a battle inside with, because they're going to win that. You want to try to you want to be able to stretch the floor and open up some driving lanes, but when the game gets slowed down like that, everything kind of gets forced inside. You see all those block shots and all those steals. A lot of them are coming from the bigs too. So it's
check the points in the paint battle. See, North Carolina did a little bit better than Vandy. Only lost at 36-24. But I feel like they could have had a lot more points, because UConn, to start off, like you said, they had a slower start and they weren't as disciplined. 12 fouls in this one for them. And early in the game, you got to take advantage of that. That first quarter could have been the deciding factor of UConn's first loss of the season, but they let them change it up. Let UConn get comfortable.
It was, you start the second up 1, end up hitting a 2 to put yourself up 3, feeling like this game's going the right way, and then it just spiraled to being down by 25 at one point and losing by 21 to end this game.
God.
Yeah. think with how much there were a lot of bodies hitting the floor, a lot of physicality, but either team ended up going to the line a crazy amount. Which I mean, you kind of like to see, let them just play in March. Don't call too many fouls. There's going to be some physicality. People are going to be going extra hard. Not everything has to be a whistle.
Yeah, that's true.
Then that brings us to the Elite Eight matchup between Notre Dame and UConn. And again, it was just really great defense overall by the Huskies. Notre Dame couldn't score more than 16 points in a quarter. They got held to 11 twice. 18 turnovers as a team for the Irish and 14 steals again in this one. There was a lot of thievery going on in this one. 14 steals for the Huskies, 9 for the Irish.
9.
Yeah, this is going back and forth, but UConn, I mean, they hit a few more threes in this one. And again, it was just like the size and that UConn has versus the Irish, just it was too much. And again, like they really were content with just letting Hidalgo score. She wasn't really shooting threes. They were willing to give up those 2-pointers inside because they could just go right back down on the other end and match it up. Like give Sarah Strong a post up or, work a play for Azzy or KK Arnold to try to get something. Bianca was, again, fantastic.
Killing them.
Off the bench, 20 points, 8 rebounds in this one in 30 minutes.
It's crazy, too. You can't even tell who was running the big on Notre Dame because Hannah Hidalgo had 11 rebounds and nobody got more than 5 on the team.
Your 5'6" guard is the one leading you in rebounds, 3 steals and 3 assists as well with her 22. And it is just like they took everything away and tried to make Hannah the one-woman show out there. She wasn't getting a whole lot from the rest of her teammates. I mean, nobody else on Notre Dame made more than 3 shots. And in an Elite Eight game, you can't be doing that against the number 1 overall team in the country. And another just all-around dominating performance from Sarah Strong. So far, no team has had an answer for her. Cassandra Prosper couldn't hold her down. So we'll see if Joyce Edwards on South Carolina's got the answer. But in this one, Sarah, 21, 7 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. Her hands are just, I mean, she's just so smart, like getting in the passing lane or just, I mean, such finesse and just so smart knowing when to poke that ball out. And it just leads to so much transition offense.
It's really scary too. We got a 7-player rotation over here with Notre Dame, and UConn pretty much pulled out 2 starting lineups against you in this game.
Yeah,
like they're coming out like with the WNBA team roster and just walking through this tournament this year. They're stacked.
That'll be, I think, in this Final Four matchup, that's going to be the biggest thing for South Carolina is trying to limit the turnovers because when the Huskies have been struggling offensively, because they've been like these past 2 games, like it hasn't been the prettiest looking basketball on offense, but their defense has just been so phenomenal. And then those turnovers really start to generate that offense, even when they're starting to get a little sluggish. All of a sudden, the steals start ramping up, and you get a little more transition. But UConn can speed the game up, they can slow it down, they can really play at whatever pace they want to.
Scariest thing too, their best players are underclassmen. Blanca Quinones, freshman. So it's going to be her and Sarah Strong down there next year because Sarah Williams is a senior. So I already fear for the teams next season. I got to face off against Sarah Strong. and Blanca Quinones for the next 2-3 years.
Could be
Like-
looking at 3P if they make it through and win again this year.
Oh yeah,
But
I
that
mean,
is
that's short. That's just what UConn basketball does in the women's side.
but hey, nothing is guaranteed as we are going to move down to Regional 4, Sacramento, and discuss their opponents, the South Carolina Gamecocks, who just put out another dominating performance over Oklahoma in the Sweet 16, 94 to 68. And yeah, they just jumped out to a 10-point lead after one and never looked back and just kept adding to it. I mean, it was honestly like when you're one of your best players, and Joyce Edwards goes 3 of 13 from the field, and you still win by like this much because like all these other players stepped up. I mean, Tanaya Latson, that's the thing with South Carolina. It's like it could really be anyone on any given game. Like Tanaya Latson just went off in this one. 7 of 11 from the field. First of all, her shooting splits, beautiful. 7 of 11 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3, 10 of 10 from the line. Just, well, chef's kiss. Love the shooting splits. I mean, 100% from 3 and at the line. Yeah, you're going to score 28 points.
Yep.
That was insane efficiency there from her. You know, Edwards off shooting, but she still pulls in 9 boards and gets 4 steals for her squad.
Yeah. And I mean, Tanaya Latson had 28, but you got a solid 18 and 14 from Raven Johnson and Tessa Johnson, who, yeah, like shooting almost perfect. 8 for 11, 2 from 3 for Raven. And Tessa Johnson, 6 of 8, 2 for 2 from 3.
Yeah, no attempts at the line for those two, but like just again, those 3 just couldn't miss. I mean, you just got the ball in their hands, and they would just make shots.
They're all incredibly efficient. 51% from the field, 71% from 3. They're 10 of 14, and then they made 84% of the free throws.
Those 3 together, 30 shot attempts, only 9 misses between the 3 of them. That's it. Wild.
So a three-woman show right there. Just Joyce Edwards and Medina Okot grab all them boards.
Okot was hounding people on the glass. They couldn't box her out, and she was doing it on both sides. Like she grabbed 6 O boards and 6 defensive boards. So it was, that perfect split. It was perfectly balanced. I mean, like you look at how even it is. You could almost say it was like Thanos, like out there rebounding.
Yep.
And then you have
just Dawn Staley is secretly Thanos.
Maybe. I mean, that's another exciting thing about this UConn South Carolina matchup. It's you got the coaches Gino and Dawn Staley. That's going to be a good matchup.
Two of the best women's basketball coaches of all time facing off in your Final Four this year. You love to see it.
Before we get to the Elite Eight, another Sweet 16 matchup in the Regional 4 Sacramento area was between the Virginia Cavaliers and the TCU Horned Frogs. This was a really good back and forth game, but sort of a poor showing in the third quarter by Virginia was really what helped TCU hold on and secure a 10-point victory, getting outscored 24-11. Besides that, though, they were really neck and neck with the Horned Frogs for a lot of this game. But one bad quarter can really kill you. And they also just had no answers for Olivia Miles or Marta Suarez, who are pretty much all of your offense for TCU. And it was a lot of offense. So Olivia Miles, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists.
Oh, my God.
Double for her. She was on 11 to 14 shooting game, man. So she wasn't just chucking up shots. She was getting out buckets, getting the work out there. It's fantastic. And then Marta Suarez, 33 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists as well. So
didn't expect this out of Marta Suarez. I can't even lie.
yeah.
She was like 17-7 this year. So they were just really going and letting her attack inside as their she's kind of like the power forward. But 7 3-pointers too in this one. And it was just the pick and roll, guard and big play with Olivia Miles and Suarez.
Yeah, man. I mean, she hasn't really done anything super close to this besides that game against Baylor. She had 27 earlier in the year. Definitely a player capable of putting up 25 and 10. Though. But yeah, to do it against this high level of competition was exciting to see. And then for Virginia, they were kind of our Cinderella of the women's tournament, and this is where they run. Did come to an end. Kimora Johnson was really special to watch in this tournament. She definitely didn't have her best game from the field, but still managed to score 18, drop 6 rebounds and 8 assists. And her teammate Paris Clark giving her a strong 20. But just overall, TCU won the glass and a little bit better protecting the paint.
The shooting splits are so even. 41%, 52%. Both made 7-8 threes, took 18 threes.
You got it.
Pretty even battle on the free throw line too. This game was just back and forth until that third quarter.
Virginia started playing really well again in the fourth, and they were making a lot of shots. But you got to just one bad quarter can really be all it takes sometimes to.
Yeah, that'll really do it.
To do you in. And then that got us to our Elite Eight matchup, South Carolina versus TCU. And good tournament run on Olivia Miles and the gang, but too much running into the South Carolina Gamecocks, 78-52. I mean, again, it's just the defensive prowess of Don Staley's team. And this was a close game until the fourth quarter.
Yep, and they locked it down.
Outscores TCU 29-11. It just the way they turned it, the absolute domination in the fourth. I mean, TCU just nothing began to work. I mean, they couldn't hit shots. They were getting all of their rebounds taken, and
This is what'll hurt you right here: is having 4 bench points.
Yeah.
You pretty much left it up to your whole starting lineup in this game. And yes, they did get some minutes of rest, but it was not very impactful minutes from their second unit in this game from TCU.
It felt like they they looked a lot more gassed than South Carolina did in the fourth quarter. And you can just see the rebound differential was massive in this one. And then
30.
Yeah. 52 boards to just 24 for
gosh.
So I mean, yeah, they had more defensive rebounds that South Carolina did than TCU had combined total rebounds.
You can kind of see that they were just getting wore out in this game, in their shooting splits. Suarez was killing it last game, and then 4-17, 1 for 8. I mean, South Carolina just had too many bodies to throw at her, and it She was done.
It got
There's only so much you can do.
You could sense some desperation with some of the shots starting to set in too, and just a wholeheartedly inefficient game from everybody. I mean, Olivia Miles was 6 for 20. Taylor Bigsby 4 for 10 was probably your best shooting percentage out of anybody that took like a high volume of shots. Yeah, Joyce Edwards, quiet against Oklahoma, was alive in this game. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocked shots, throw a steal in there for good measure. Yeah, why not?
9 offensive rebounds. Oh my God.
I was like the big thing was like if she missed, like she put it right back up too. Like she got a lot of second chance points for herself.
No one on UConn or no one on TCU even had more than 9 rebounds. 9 offensive rebounds beat the entire other team.
And
she had half of the rebounds that TCU got, 12 of 24. Like, holy crap.
Like TCU at one point, I mean, had an 8-point lead at one point in this game.
They did.
They were looking all right. Like they're looking like things were. That was in the third quarter too, so it looked like they had a good chance to really take this down to the wire. And then, the run just started for South Carolina after they went down 8. And I also on just the paint points again, like absolute domination inside there. 18 more points in the paint for South Carolina. 46 is just 28 for TCU.
This is a crazy stat line for Dawn Staley. So South Carolina has reached the Final Four in 7 of the past 9 seasons, and she has been the head coach for every single season that they made the Final Four.
Wow.
So,
yeah, she's one of the best to do it in women's hoops.
This is a rematch of last year's Natty in the Final Four. UConn.
That's true.
South Carolina.
The game that what a game Paige Beckers had though in that national championship. That she scored 40?
It was like 35-40 in that.
Yeah. I do like Azzy. Azzy's a really good guard as well, but I don't know if she's got the same level of shot creation that Paige Beckers has for herself, because Beckers was a good deal taller. Like she could, like her fadeaway jumper was butter. It's going to be an incredible matchup because these are two really deep teams. The Johnsons, Tessa and Raven have been there for a while. Joyce Edwards is having a fantastic season. The battle of her against Sarah Strong is going to be great. These teams both have great depth. They play amazing defense. So the turnover margin and rebounding are the two things. I like who can win those battles because with how good these teams are defensively. I don't expect there to be like a lot of shot making. I think it'll probably be a lower scoring game. You're probably going to see lower shooting splits, but it's going to be that clutch time shot making. Who can you trust in those big moments to just go out there and get you a bucket, make some clutch shots?
Yep.
Will also be huge in that game. So can't wait for that one.
6.5 point spread for UConn. 6.5 point favorites. This game is going to come down to the last shot, though. It's definitely going to be one of those games.
Yeah. Well, shifting back over to the right side of the bracket, Regional 2, Sweet 16. We have a fantastic 3-2 matchup in the Sweet 16.
Duke and LSU.
Down
game-winning shot was nuts.
Yeah, a perfectly even fourth quarter, and like you said, like a last second shot to really take the win for the Blue Devils. But a lot of fun this one was.
It really surprised me about Duke, man, because first 2 rounds of the tournament, LSU scored like 217 points or something like that in the first 2 games. And Duke's defense really showed that they had some cooking. Toby Fournier, despite being a lot smaller than a lot of the other bigs that she's played against, been really solid this tournament. She's been really good. Like, we'll get to it in the next game, but her and Lauren Betts were just battling it out. I mean, you put up a good night against the number 4 projected player in the WNBA. You're getting the respect.
Yes, you are. And I thought that the Michaela Williams had a great game with 22, but Malaysia off the bench was an interesting twist I didn't see coming. I thought she was fantastic, and I really thought that LSU was going to be able to pull it off with their bench minutes. But you also had Tania Mari rising to the occasion for the Blue Devils. Her and Fournier combining for 44 points in this one. And you just look across the board, so evenly matched. Both teams got to the line a good amount, but Duke left more, had a few more attempts at the free throw line, but they left more points out there, which kind of helped LSU hang around in this one. A dead even rebounding matchup, so you can't really look to that. They were dead even in turnovers, but there was a bit more playmaking for Duke, which I think made a bit of a difference for them, especially down the stretch where they got outscored 25 to 20 in the third. So we're going into the fourth trailing, but to sort of engineer that comeback and get that final shot was just their ability to play make, and LSU's offense definitely at times got a little stagnant. But that was
Sorry, my mic unplugged.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I don't know. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to this game actually then before we move on?
LSU's got to finish this. They got to finish this game. They got a deeper team, and they really had to go deep into their rotation to get 28 out of full Wiley too. So bad performance from your 2 starting guards. That's let LSU stay or let Duke stay in it after that third quarter. But I think that the little better team won this one, and in my opinion,
No, most definitely.
They came out ready to play. UCLA and Minnesota, on the other hand, was not dominant performance.
Not nearly as close. Here, yeah, 80-56. The Bruins taking home the win, and they just absolutely locked down anything from the Golden Gophers. They had one decent quarter. Minnesota scored 19 points. But besides that quarter, the second, very wide margin of victory by the quarter-by-quarter matchups, and then it ended up in a wide margin of victory for UCLA.
The teams that are generating the most turnovers in this tournament, they're the ones that are here.
Yeah,
11 steals and 9 blocks for UCLA, and Golden Gophers 5 steals, 1 block as the team.
Yeah, Lauren Betts had as many blocked shots as
5.
The entire Golden Gophers team. Yeah, that was they just had nobody that could even like challenge her. I mean, she just what doesn't show up on the stat sheet is also all the shots that she affected.
Yep.
And like
She's too damn tall.
yeah, she's just so big. I mean, it's such a presence. And I thought Minnesota was shooting the three ball well, but they didn't take a ton of them, but like they were 50%, 6 of 12. And I thought that might have been an area where they could have attacked because like you weren't really getting anything inside, It was tough sledding in there.
Yeah. All of Tori McKinney's shots were threes that she made. So, I mean, after that second quarter, you've got to build off that in halftime and you come out swinging because they knew what was working.
Like UCLA was kind of struggling from three as well. So I mean, like I don't know, they just didn't seem comfortable taking them. I felt like they passed up on maybe some good looks there too. Even if they didn't make more, like they seemed scared to take them. I felt like if they took a few more of those, that might have, drawn the Bruins out more often, and they could have, like at least opened up some better driving lanes because it was just crowded in there, and then too often then they ended up just like having to try to throw up a really tough layup with Lauren Betts right around the rim or kind of settle for an awkward jump shot. They're just like you let a few more threes fly. Maybe this game's a little closer. Just a whole lack of confidence to let it fly though.
Good run in this tournament from Minnesota though. They kind of just need some size, and they could be a pretty solid team in the future. At least a 4 seed coming out of the Big Ten, and women's right now is pretty good because you got Michigan and UCLA are already up in the top. You're competing with Oregon, who made it. Like, there's some good teams in there.
Yeah, Illinois and Nebraska both also made it. From
the Big Nebraska Ten. Made it, and they were all in the same region. That sucks.
Ohio State, can't forget about them. They were
and Maryland, Syracuse, Illinois, all these Big Ten teams in the tournament this year.
Washington
USC in there.
Yeah, man. The Big Ten, Iowa, can't forget about Iowa.
Yeah, came in as a 2 seed.
The Big Ten crushed it in basketball this year.
They did great.
Big Ten's kind of been, at least in college football and basketball, man, they've been on the up and up. I mean, like a lot of teams from the Big Ten doing really well. Past 2 college football champions have been Big Ten teams as well. So
some nice big name coaches too. Like
they're starting to take over those two. I would say the main 2 college sports, or like the big 2 at least in the country. The Big Ten starting to take it over.
Yeah, they've been really good. Which region are we heading to next?
Well, we still got our Elite 8 matchup.
Oh yeah,
UCLA. And Duke was actually
winning
this game
by 10.
They had a 10-point lead, and again, it was a tale of 2 halves because the Blue Devils were getting a lot of good looks. They were scoring. They looked really efficient. They were playing good defense. And then in the second half, just a complete 180. They were giving up some easy looks, and they couldn't score. They only managed 19 total points in the second half, 8 in the third quarter, 11 in the fourth. So just a complete 180. And again, they just couldn't make a 3. They at least stopped shooting them, but 1 of 13, man.
Yeah,
Look, if you like 3-pointers, this wasn't the game for you because there was only 3 total made out of 27 attempts. Because UCLA wasn't much better, 2 for 14.
Yeah, we saw 3 total made threes in this game. It's real. If you like watching a center go crazy in the post inside, pick up back-to-back games with 5 blocks, 10 boards, and 23 points
On
in
9 of
this
14
double-double.
shooting. Warren was super efficient in this one.
Like, defensively, Fournier was really doing for the best that she could. Those misses from Lauren Betts were pretty affected from Toby. But it was really Taina Mare going crazy. Almost had a triple-double in this game for
4
Duke.
steals for her as well, so she was getting it done on both ends of the floor. Yeah, she tried to will her team to victory, but it just, like I said, like you look at like Delaney, Fournier, Riley Nelson, 13, 12, 10. Like they were, a lot of those points came in the first. Like they all went cold in the second. And then I think fatigue, that plays a factor because you look at the bench minutes and points versus UConn. Again, like UConn only had 2 other players come off the bench, but Angela Dulick played for 30 minutes and scored 15 points while picking up 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Like just a lot more production there.
That first half, Duke was really benefiting on both of these teams having a smaller rotation because Lauren Betts is really your most efficient shooter other than Gabriella Jaquez and Charlize Leaguer Walker in the starting lineup. Kiki Rice was 2 for 10. That's like your second option in this offense. And it was Angela Dugalik. Once they got her subbed in and get some solid minutes for her is when it really, really changed. And it made this game a tale of 2 halves because UCLA needed an option offensively to help out Lauren. And they got that exactly from like pretty much their six player. 30 minutes, 15 points, 7 for 13, then 6 boards and 4 assists. A couple of steals. We got the perfect lineup.
Yeah.
What's going on, Amber?
What's up, Amber? Thanks for tuning in.
And again, these teams that play defense, dude. 7 steals, 5 blocks for UCLA.
And rebounding was,
rebounding and defense has been the key.
I do think Fournier, something was probably bugging her. She only ended up playing 27 minutes. They weren't going to her as much, and when she was out there, like her defense in the second half, just that they ended up trying to have not really having her on bets as much because I do think maybe there was something that she tweaked something and that could have played a factor in that. But it was going to be, we were thinking we were probably going to see UCLA get to the Final Four, and here they are. And, I was having some fun picking West Virginia to make it out of Region 3, but we should have known it was going to be Texas.
Yeah, we should have known because 1, 2, 3, 4 dominating performances in a row for Texas lands them in the Final Four.
Now we'll start with their opponent in the Elite Eight, though, in their Sweet 16 matchup. Michigan was also having like a dominant run through the tournament. They had here a 19-point victory over Louisville in the Sweet 16, 71-52. You had Livy Olsen scoring 19 points, Silas Swords with 16, 9 steals, 5 block shots as a team for the Wolverines. And they were 11 of 15 from the line, 4 of 13 from deep. So, but weren't great from 3, but they didn't take a ton, and then they were knocking down a lot of their 2s. Out rebounded the Cardinal 42-34. Felt like it was Elif Estenbugula against the world out there. She didn't get a whole lot of help from the rest of her team. Everyone else was crazy inefficient besides her on her 18 points and 7 rebounds for the Cards.
It's really tough because your Sweet 16 game, Louisville, Alabama, 1 point differential. And then in the Elite Eight, they face the juggernaut.
Yeah.
Same thing for Kentucky. 1 point win over West Virginia. Looks like they can compete. No, they just walk and face the juggernaut and lose by 22.
Let's go to that other game against the juggernaut of Region 3, which was
Texas.
The Texas Longhorns. Yeah, another team. They play great defense. They're really good at rebounding. Got an 11-point rebound differential that they won by in this one. 10 more assists in this game as well. And they had 16 steals and 24 turnovers from the Wildcats.
The craziest thing to me here, leading scorer for Michigan was Olivia Olson, who was 2 of 13. She had 7 free throws carrying her up to this one. Myla Holloway was 4 of 14. Silas Swords only made 3 shots. And then your bench, your spark off the bench was 1 for 7. And Kendall Dudley wasn't able to hit anything really either. And their free throws were the only reason that they had some points in this game.
Yeah. I was reading off the differentials in that Kentucky game for Texas, but they were even better against a really good Michigan team. 49 rebounds in this game, 49 to 32 for Michigan. Michigan only had 5 assists. They couldn't play make for anything. And 21 for Texas. 11 steals, 5 block shots for the Longhorns. 17 offensive rebounds. They had as many defensive rebounds as Michigan did as a team. Yeah, they just completely overwhelmed Michigan. Look at Michigan scoring by quarter. 9, 12, 8, 12. This whole game, you just were like, wow. Complete dominance. They just imposed their will on Michigan. I'll say Michigan, the second quarter, that was, Texas only scored 12 points as well, but
yeah, they came out at halftime like crap. 8 points, 21-8 in the third. Yeah, that'll just kill you.
I thought maybe you could pull it back a little bit. You're only down 13, and then it just ballooned even more. Michigan only made 13 shots from the field. They had as many made shots as they did free throws. Mm-hmm. That's really bad. That's not going to win you a lot of games. The only thing that probably kept this from being an even worse, 50-point loss is the fact that Texas could not hit a 3. And did they try. Boy, did Jordan Lee try. She's going to need to get that figured out for this next game.
That's not going to help you in the Final Four.
The rest of your team dominated, but you shooting 2 of 17, girl, what are you doing? You're going to need to get that a little have to maybe not take as many shots, pass it a bit more.
Yeah.
3 assists. So I don't.
Now let's predict.
Probably against a team that's got Lauren Banks. She's going to feast on the boards if you do that. So
Texas actually 1.5 point favorites in the Final Four matchup against UCLA.
I'll say I want to give Michigan fans a little silver lining here. Olivia Olson, Silas Swords are both sophomores, so they should probably be back to try to run it back and do this again. Your top 2 players. So you'll be all right. And hey, the Wolverines are going to win the men's side, so you guys are all right. You'll get one championship.
Who do you got for the championship for women's HG?
Let's look at these final four matchups. Man, these are both coin flip games. If we're going to be honest, I think I'm going to stick to my guns and go with my original though, UCLA and UConn. I do still feel like those are the two best teams in the country. I feel a little bit more confident in UCLA than I do in UConn because I like that. This is by far the best team the Huskies are going to be playing all year coming up here in South Carolina. So that will be interesting to see. But I think they're really talented and they've got, two top 5 players in the country. And I like UCLA. I trust them more to knock down threes.
They're going to be more.
That'll be what can do in Texas. Because Betts and Booker are probably both going to have an awesome battle inside, but it'll be UCLA's got some more flamethrowers on the perimeter.
I'm going with the same national championship. I'm going to keep my pick. Get UConn in an undefeated season for 2025-2026.
I'll stick with that as well. Ozzy Fudd's been doing this for a while, and now it's her time, and you got the best coach in college basketball history, in Gino. All right. Excuse me. Amber telling you congrats on the job, caveman.
Thank you.
Didn't know he is going to be interning with a minor league team in Louisiana.
Yep, the Acadiana Cane Cutters will be in the Acadiana Parish, which is actually deeply historic area of Louisiana because Acadiana is named after Acadia in Canada, where those French people were located before they got kicked out of Canada by the English and moved all the way down to Louisiana. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet.
Man. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and
You're listening to the station that is letting our veterans' voice to be heard right here on MBR. To call in or text the number
we will be right back after this short break.
720.
Been a little crazy, and I haven't had much time. Crazy, it gets me the more you're on my mind. Thought of you and the things you do got me spinning. Never thought I'd find someone who sees things the way I do. Never thought I'd find this love till I ran into you. You filled a hole in my soul and got me spinning. Got me spinning around and round. My feet are nowhere near the ground and I'm spinning. spinning. I'll be home tomorrow. We got a lot of catching up to do. I wanna see your pretty face and draw my arms around you. Hold you tight all through the night and just spinning. Got me spinning around and round. My feet on the web in the ground and I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. Yeah. I'm spinning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm spinning. Yeah. Don't you know I'm spinning?
Even ducks know the calmest waters come after the storm.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
All right, everyone. You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. We just got through our breakdown of the women's bracket. We gave our predictions for the Final Four over there. Now let's get into the Elite Eight and the Sweet 16 of the men's bracket.
What region
Just
we
like on the other
start?
side, there were some amazing games.
All right, where do we want to start? We want to go Midwest or West? Tough choice, man. There's some fantastic games in both. I'll let you pick.
You know, I'll let you pick this one where we start off here.
All right. Well, you know what? I've been hyping them up all season. We'll start
Go
with
Michigan.
Michigan Wolverines in the Midwest. First of all, they got a tough matchup against the Alabama Crimson Tide in round one. And Bama looked great to start this one, man. They were hitting all these threes. They were forcing turnovers. They were getting out in transition and going. But Michigan hung right with them, was only down 2 at halftime, and then they flipped a switch and dominated that second half, outscored Bama 43-8 in the second quarter. And
Byron Jr., he's a bucket, man.
He is.
Alabama's got something cooking.
I wonder how many years he's going to even – I mean, he might honestly be going in the draft this year. He's
a sophomore, but he might declare. I mean, he was 12th in points per game.
Averaging 22, shooting 50%. Yeah. I mean, the kid showed like a ton of moxie in big games. He scored 35 in this one, knocking down 6 threes. He also had 7 boards, 4 assists. He was fantastic. He was really good. But, yeah, Michigan just – what was big for them, man, they stopped the dumb turnovers and they started hitting some more shots. And when Michigan was able to get that half-court defense set, it was a lot tougher for Alabama to score. They weren't getting they were running off of the missed shots, off of turnovers, and then Michigan would be out of place. And so Bama would either be really good at just going and attacking the rim and getting an easy 2, or they'd kick it out for a 3.
Yep.
And hit that. But once they were able to get set, that's Bama's big problem. They score almost exclusively at the rim and in the paint or from 3. They don't really take any shots anywhere else. It's all in the key or beyond the arc.
I mean, that's just their sets, really. Their actions always. That's where the best shot always ends up being, and they're just really good at getting to those spots.
And man, Yaxel, dude, he's been just so good in this tournament. Again, he had another fantastic game. Some clutch shot making. He goes 8 of 12, knocks down 4 threes. He's 23 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals as well. You had Mara. He had some great rim protection, 2 block shots, but he was also just, 7-2. He was making like a lot of those guards uncomfortable trying to take a shot on him. And then Rodney Gale, Trey McKinney off the bench, man, brought some spark and some life with their 3-point shooting. And they scored 16 and 17 respectively to really help that starting lineup out that wasn't off to the best start. And yeah, they ended up getting more minutes than Naomi Burnett, who started in this one. But like I said, that the length of Michigan just eventually they were able to overwhelm Alabama, and when Michigan was making these shots, it really hindered Alabama's defense. Michigan was like, no, you guys are going to play at our pace. And, you're going to have to actually run some more offense if you want to keep getting these threes, or if you want to score inside.
They've outmatched just about everyone that they've had to play in this tournament. I mean, Howard doesn't really have that length on the wing. St. Louis had a few guys, just not enough to really match up fully. Alabama, they found out what works, but quick adjustments from Michigan, and that, like, again, they just another opponent that they just outmatched down low.
It's like the only thing that really has been Michigan's weakness is they haven't started games super strong. I mean, like that Howard game was like they led like that entire time, but like in the first half at least, like you're like, man, like Howard's not entirely out of this, but then like again they were just way better in the second half, and that was kind of the case against Bama. I mean, like Bama at one point, I forget how big the lead was, but they did have like a let's see.
They really had to prove it in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, like Bama was
it was a good job.
Up by 9 at one point, so you were like, okay, like,
yeah.
And I mean, that was coming off of like them hitting a bunch of threes, and I mean, like the energy of that place seemed like it was really flipping towards Alabama's way, but then Michigan just amazing adjustments to really shut down Alabama in the second half. Our other Sweet 16 matchup was a pretty big upset for the Iowa State Cyclones, falling to the Tennessee Volunteers 76-62 here. And this was a game, no Joshua Jefferson for the Cyclones, missing one of their best players. And then another one of your best players, Milan Momcilovic, just had a very tough night shooting. Was 2 of 9, 2 for 7. And honestly, if it weren't for the 25 free throw attempts that they missed 10 of, Iowa State could have lost this by more, man. They were really struggling to hit shots in general, and also struggling to rebound the basketball. Tennessee killed them, absolutely killed them on the boards. 43 rebounds to just 22, and 7 blocked shots by the Volunteers. So their length and power inside just really overwhelmed Iowa State, and when they were struggling to shoot it from outside.
They were able to do good in the first half because their defense pressure is just so strong that they love to trap, and really any spot on the floor they want to double team. And they got a lot of steals in the first half. Got 7 of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not all in the first half, but they weren't really as successful with that later on. Like Tennessee's passing and ball movement, and like guys are just moving off the ball, getting to open spaces for people to pass out of those double teams. Like the Tennessee's halftime adjustments is what really got them in this one.
Yeah. And Jalen Carey in that second half especially, dude, like pivotal minutes off the bench. I mean, it was some of the most impactful 11 points and 10 rebounds you will see in a game. He was, I mean, and 6 of those rebounds were offensive rebounds.
Yep.
He was clean. He was getting them so many second chance points. Even had 4 assists. Like he was.
Yeah, Akpara was a beast.
Yeah. He was a really big factor for him there.
I didn't expect this to happen at Iowa State, though. It was a really good first half. Like, leaving that down 1, like, you're all right. You're still in it. Just do whatever you can to, like, don't let them go on a huge, crazy run in the second half. And, like, that's exactly what happened.
And then,
they outscored 42-29.
Right. If they could have kept this at this, like, a game where they didn't have to score in a hurry every possession, like, that was – but then they got forced into a game like that, man, where it was like Tennessee got up big and you had to score.
Yeah.
And on a night where you were just not shooting the ball well, your offense it was getting kind of stagnant at times. Like this could have been a really different game if Joshua Jefferson was healthy.
Very different.
Yeah.
You would have had a really good guard in this and probably would have got better opportunities like Momcilovic, one of the best three-point shooters in the nation this year, and he was 2 for 7 from 3. Like, I feel like you get a lot better opportunities for jump shots with him when you have a playmaker like that, somebody that's going to draw more attention to from a defense.
Maybe.
Iowa State just couldn't find that guy that was going to step up.
Was like they definitely, especially in the second half, they needed that where it was their team struggling offensively. You just need like a dude to kind of take control, stem the tide a little bit, and settle everybody down, settle that place down. And they weren't able to do that. And an impressive run for Tennessee, all for naught though in the Elite Eight, all Michigan. In this one, I mean, they were up by 22 at halftime, and they just never looked back. Crushed them 95-62. They weren't getting all those easy offensive rebounds. I will say, like Tennessee did keep pace with Michigan and still had 19 offensive rebounds. But 42 boards each. But besides that, I mean, they really weren't able to do anything else as well as Michigan. Michigan ends up blocking eight of their shots. Got to the line 37 times.
Man.
We got a lot of that. It just ended up being like they got like it just Michigan was so aggressive trying to score, attacking inside. I mean, like Morris Johnson was really just like on those post ups, man. They just couldn't stop fouling him. He shot 11 of those free throws, and then Lindenberg just doing it all, man. Knocks down 3 threes. He's 10 of 19, scores 27 points, 7 boards. He blocks 2 shots. That they were just on fire in this one. 10-27 from 3, 29-56 overall. Like, just high efficiency looks throughout everything, throughout the game, and just forced like nothing came easy for Tennessee.
It was high efficiency against low efficiency, and they were only 53% from the free throw line compared to 73%. And Michigan had 20 more free throw attempts than Tennessee did. Weren't really able to get to the line, and when they did, they couldn't even make those ones.
Yeah. I mean, when your opponent shoots 20 more free throws than you can't really afford to miss 8 of yours.
You can't.
But like I said, I don't know if anything would have really made a difference. Like they got some extra shot attempts because they're all their offensive rebounding, but they just couldn't. That didn't matter. They couldn't convert. Like they took 20 more shots in this game than Michigan did, and made 5 less than Michigan did total. So
they couldn't hit a three either. 5 of 26 from 3.
Couldn't buy one.
Couldn't buy one. Michigan just barely had to make a few more.
Right. Honestly, I think that's honestly probably why Michigan just had less offensive rebounds. They just made a lot more of their shots.
They were just making them.
Yeah. So
he does like to play pretty quick sometimes. That's kind of how they went on a big run against Iowa State. Like when you're getting the ball out of the net, you can't really run with that much pace.
Yeah.
You can't really they're slowing the game down just by making shots. And they're able to get back on defense.
You've really got to try to make Michigan either turn the ball over or hope that they're not shooting well, because when that half court defense is set, and you can't just get out and run. I mean, it is so hard to score on. And that might be Michigan's one big weakness is they aren't a great fast-paced team, but they're just so good at dictating the pace of the game.
Yeah, they control it still.
Yeah, there are some teams that have kind of sped them up a little bit, but ultimately they end up just taking control, and they've won by double digits in all of their matchups so far through March Madness.
It's been a good run for the Wolverines.
You know who else is having a good run? Arizona Wildcats.
They sure are.
Up to the West region we go, where Arizona took on Arkansas in a back and forth high-scoring game. But again, in this one, just the power and ability to score in the paint for Arizona, I think, was a huge difference here. They were just Acuff was nice, man. The Razorbacks did have 50 points in the paint, but Arizona had 60. So it was they didn't turn this into a real big 3-point contest. I mean, each team only made 5 3-point shots, but Arizona only attempted 8 threes. Arkansas attempted 23. So it was, again, Arizona was kind of making Arkansas play this big body, in the paint, score slow pace scoring and or just taking a lot of twos. Wasn't necessarily slow pace, and that's just Arizona's game, man. You're not gonna you've got two of the best guards that they're so good in the mid range. They can score, attacking the rim. They can even post up on guards every now and again. And then you've got guys like Krivas, Koa Pete, Toby Awaka that are just monsters. They're just so big, you just can't move them inside. They're a lot of strength there. So
look at the offensive rebounds for these teams. Shows how much shots Arizona was actually making in this game, because they only needed to get 6 offensive rebounds in this game.
Arizona's shooting splits, besides from 77% from the line, which is whatever, but they are first of all, 39 attempts. That also just goes to the power of them, because it's
they got in the paint at will.
Yeah, you're getting to the line and it's Arkansas it's so hard to stop these guys. They're so strong. You kind of just have to foul. But 60% from the field, 63% from 3. Yeah, it was a high level shot making from Arizona. I will say Acuff, man, kid's gonna be great in the NBA, dude. 28 points. He got to the line 14 times. not much of a rebounder, but as a guard, like I think if he works on his playmaking a little bit, like I've seen some people compare him to Allen Iverson, and I see it. Like I can see where
he
like,
has that level of
yeah.
explosiveness that like Allen Iverson, Kyrie have off the dribble.
Right.
He's going to be really good.
Explosive off the dribble and acrobatic and creative with how he scores. Really all over the court. Like he can go up among the trees and the Giants, score at the rim, get to jump shots and everything. So yeah, he's gonna be all right in the NBA. But like just Arizona, man, they are just so deep. You look like every starter scored at least 14, and then you also get Toby Awaka scoring 14. Del Orso off the bench also gives you 8 points. Like, and Toby's your leading rebounder off the bench, dude. Like it's crazy. It was a pretty clean game of basketball too. There wasn't
there was a lot of frustration fouls from Arkansas. It caused Billy Richmond to get ejected, and he was their third highest scorer in this game for Arkansas. So that is just shooting yourself in the foot. But like if Darius had a more efficient first half, this game would have been different. Like he made a lot more of his shots, even though he did score 14 in each half. He was more efficient from the field in the second half and more efficient from the free throw line in the first.
Dude, well, I like Tommy Lloyd's such a good coach because like every time Arkansas started to get a little momentum, started to get a run, man, like
he called the perfect play.
Right. And then Arizona would come back out of that and just,
end it.
Take control of that game again. It was like and that's also a credit to the players. Like they didn't get, you call a timeout, you go into the huddle, take a deep breath, come back out there, retake control of this game. Like, 109 to 88, like ended up being a 21-point loss. And you just like, there were a few times you're like, maybe Arkansas can get back in this, but then
it was just shut down.
Arizona would lock it back up. So yeah, I think what this tournament proved, even though Duke ended up as the number one overall seed, the number one overall team going into the tournament just by the top 25 rankings, I think Arizona and Michigan have proved that they were the two best teams.
They were the two best teams.
And now they're going to be matching up in the Final Four.
Arizona's resume is really what got me this year. Their opening game of the year was against Florida, who just won the national championship. A few weeks later, you play UConn. A couple weeks later, you play a nice, high-flowing offense like Alabama. They had some pretty good out-of-conference games. And then just the top 25 rankings was just riddled with Big 10 and Big 12 teams this year. So their regular season and conference schedules were that much harder because every game was like a Big 12 tournament game.
Yeah, it was. And then they looked absolutely fantastic in the Big 12 tournament as well. Yeah. It's gonna be a duel. We do have an Elite Eight matchup that there's to talk about, but first we got to talk about how their opponent fared in the Sweet 16. That was the Purdue Boilermakers. Fantastic game that kind of got bogged down by the way Purdue plays basketball, but ended up on the game-winning shot from Trey Kaufman-Renn with the putback. But the Longhorns was a cool little Cinderella run that I don't think a lot of people saw coming. I mean, it's hard to say like they were a Cinderella. It's Texas. Like they've got a healthy NIL program, but
that's true.
For how like mid they looked all season, and like the fact that like you were like, oh, NC State could totally take this team out in the first four. Like I don't even think a lot of people thought they'd even get to around the 64. So they go all the way to the Sweet 16. Got to give them a little credit for that.
You kind of ran into a really tough team right here in Purdue. One that they were extremely efficient. Give them credit for that. Everyone in the starting lineup, 10 or more points. What kept this game close, though, was how the second unit for Purdue really gave them kind of nothing. Those minutes they were out there weren't too impactful, and they were for Tremont Mark, they go and only missed 4 shots in this game, 11 of 15.
Yeah, dude, he was so fantastic all tournament. 29 points to go out on this one. He hit 5 threes. Like, he's doing all he could out there, man. Jordan Pope also knocked down 4 threes for him. Like, they were really good. I mean, like, Texas had 11. It was 11 to 25. Their 3-point shots. I mean, I think it was really just the disparity at the line kind of hurt them, man. Like, there was only 7 more made free throws, but like they made like 1 less shot overall than Purdue did.
If you're under 60% on free throws, I won't even be confused if you lost that game.
Yeah.
Because that's just, you can't be doing any of that. It's literally a free shot. There's no way you only make half.
And the Purdue starters were all great, though. I mean, nobody scored less than 11. Oscar Clough was doing some work. CJ Cox, 10 and 8. Fletcher Lloyd was the leading or second best scorer with 18. Braden Smith has been really good all tournament. And then, I'm still scratching my head about like what the game plan was.
Why was Dalen Swain trying to box out Trey Kaufman-Renn?
And the thing is,
like what?
Mattis Vukaitis was off the court. Like, or Vukaitis, I think is how you pronounce that. But like, that's your best offensive that's your best rebounder, dude. Like, I know he only had 2 in that game, but like overall, he's been your best rebounder all season. It just didn't make a ton of sense that like he was out there. Like, Swain just got
big body. I mean, he got jumped over.
Like, I get he had the most rebounds for you in this game, but he's a guard, dude. Like, why you can't have him trying to box out Kaufman-Renn. Like, it was like he wasn't even there.
And like, how many of those 9 were like long rebounds, where it was a back rim that shot dang near out to the 3-point line, like, and he got the board? Like,
a lot of times, the guy that swats the ball out doesn't get it. It's the guy that corrals it after the swat out. Like, who do you think was swatting out all those rebounds to him? You know,
probably Matas or Camden Hyde.
So, that was an interesting coaching decision. Like, I mean, he didn't even have Matas on the floor. Like, what? Forget like who he was matched up on. He wasn't even on the floor. Like, there was just nothing you could do about that. All year, that guy's been like your best rebounder. So that was a confusing decision there. But Purdue was able to escape and make it to the Elite Eight, but then they ran into the buzzsaw. Arizona Wildcats.
This game was a shootout, though. It was a shootout.
Purdue was actually up 7 at halftime, too. Like, I mean, they got off to a run in this one, man. They looked like, I mean, things were looking rough for Arizona there for a second. They were kind of struggling offensively. But again, they just got their composure. They just started battling back and then absolutely dominated really in the second half. They were up by 18 at one point in the second half. And I mean, like, Purdue came out so lackadaisical at the start of the second. It was a lot of that's when Arizona just started taking control of this game.
Yeah, they made 20 of 22 free throws.
Yeah, it's just like it's those bigs, man. Like, matched up with like phenomenal guard play. Like, they just out-muscled them in the paint, 40-20 scoring differential in the paint, and then it's just like it's so much size and power. It's like it's hard to defend without fouling like that. They just get to the line that way.
And it's crazy too. Like, everyone got to the line. Jaden Bradley had 6. Krivos had 4. Karchenkov had 4. Kolopet had 4. Bradenberry's got 2. And Iwaka even had a couple shots. Like, it wasn't just, this isn't like a one-man show ever. Like, everyone plays their role really well. Here it's like your 2 guards. Bradenberry's is like just been a true shooting guard all tournament. Anytime you need a bucket from him, just give him the ball. Just give him the ball. He'll score.
Made 4 out of
Bradley.
Arizona's 5 threes in this one too. Like giving them a little explosion from beyond the arc.
Those are all of his made shots too.
Yeah, I mean it's always like a different guy leading and scoring. Like this time it's Kolopet, but like you got Gorchenko dropping 18 and 8 as well. Krivos has 12 rebounds. You get 14 out of the Burries and Bradley. I mean, the team just does it all.
Those offensive rebounds from Kolopet and Krivos too, like getting 9 combined. That's where most of Kolopet's points came from, was his second chance points down low. He found his positioning inside really well. And it's because Oscar Clough was kind of getting big-bodied by Kolopet. I can't even lie. Because you had Kaufman-Wren on Krivos most of the time. And it was mainly like CJ Cox and Oscar Clough trying to guard him. He was just out-muscling them down low.
Again, the efficiency of Arizona, like you take 5 less shots than your opponent and still make 3 more than them. Like they just tough team to slow down. I mean, you can't like just try to eliminate one guy or force it all on the one guy's shoulders, because like the whole starting 5 is just any going of them on any given night could be the main threat. You know, it's besides Iwaka and Del Orso, they don't go very deep into their bench. But I mean, in games like this, you're not going to anyway, so it doesn't even. I don't think that matters that much, anyways.
For making it first Final Four in 25 years too. And you can thank it all to Bryce James.
It was the reason
to the Arizona in January, because that's how you get 2 5-star freshmen, Kolopet and Bradenberry's, to both be committed to the school in less than 5 months later. Is it not? Come on, he didn't even play a minute this year.
I mean, same agency, and I mean, get to play with LeBron's son. Why not? Why not go to Arizona?
I'm pretty hyped to see Bradenberry's and Bryce James next year.
Well, excuse me, everyone. Sorry, we're going to drop down to our South Division now, and in their Sweet 16 matchup with, I think, the true Cinderella of the tournament, Iowa. Yeah, they were a higher seed than Michigan, but and I like a 9 seed as a Cinderella is kind of a crazy thing to say. But like, you know, I don't think a lot of people expected this out of a very slow-paced Iowa team. But man, that slow pace that they play at was really. I mean, it gave a lot of teams problems, and including Nebraska, man, and like Iowa just hit an insane amount of threes for them, at least in this game. Like they almost tied the amount of threes they had made in the first 2 rounds combined with just in this game alone. Both teams knocking down 13 threes. This is a really fantastic game. And I think you just some of that big shot making that we saw in Nebraska in the first 2 rounds sort of disappeared.
It fizzled out.
I mean, like Iowa does, like again, like they make you really run an offense, and it's slow pace, and like guys I think kind of get like it just goes so long. Like you can go so long before your next shot that it's hard for you to kind of get going. Like Sanford and Frager were really good for Nebraska, 25 and 16 for both of those guys. And they were 8 of 13, 5 of 18. But then like the rest of them, like Burke Butanical was 1 of 7. You had Renique Mahas was 4 of 15. Hoiberg was 3 of 7. Jamarcus Lawrence was 2 of 15. So it was like, yeah, those guys were all really struggling to shoot. Say Burke got 10 boards. He made an impact that way and also blocked 2 shots. But yeah, besides 2 guys, like Nebraska was really having some trouble scoring.
Rough night from the field. They made a lot of their free throws. They made a lot of those shots. It was just clutch scoring down the stretch. They had a 10-point lead in the first half. It was 40-30 at one point. And Iowa storms back, and you go to halftime and a 3-point game. And there was like 5 minutes left in the first half, and it was 30-40. And your first half ends 43-46. So they had a lot of trouble scoring in this one when it really started to matter.
Sturts was fantastic again, 20 points from him. And then, you were just getting a lot of like great minutes from the guys off the bench, Flageras, Tate Sage, 16 and 19 from those 2. Sage also had 8 rebounds. He hit 4 threes for them. You got a little more, Cooper Koch gave you some scoring with 11 points there. 3 of those were being threes or 9 points came from 3-pointers. So it was like Nebraska definitely started this game making Iowa play a little faster, but they just Iowa was so good at dictating pace for a lot of this tournament, and they were like one of the slowest paced teams in the country. Like they're going to use
every second
that whole 30-second shot clock or whatever it is. It is 30, right? In college.
30 is either 30 or 28.
Yeah, like it's a little bit higher than the NBA.
It's a little longer than.
They're going to use it all and take advantage of it. So that was honestly, even though there was a game-winning shot, like this felt like a more exciting game than Purdue, Texas. Just because that game kept going. Like there were a lot less fouls.
Yeah, this one got slowed down.
Well, you want to talk about a defensive game, but an incredible showing. The Fighting Illini taking down the Houston Cougars 65-55, man. And this was my fear for Houston all season, and something I felt like was going to be the reason to get eliminated was just an inability to really score when their defense isn't generating a lot of turnovers and they aren't just dominating teams rebounding the ball. They don't have a very dynamic offense and like a team that can score in bunches and get out to a good lead could really give them some problems. And that was what we saw. Like it's 24-22 at halftime. And then starting the third quarter, or not starting the third quarter, but like after trading a few buckets, Illinois goes on a 17-0 run. And it was over from that point. I mean, like Tennessee just doesn't have the firepower to come back from a deficit like that. They lost the rebounding battle. They didn't force too many turnovers. They were, there's a lot of size, for Misevic and Mukovic rather, East Lavaj. Keaton Wagler's even taller. Like he had 13 points and 12 rebounds in this game. It was 2 block shots as well. So it's like you just couldn't you couldn't just get easy rejections or easy boards and turn that into some transition offense,
Yeah. And a real bad shooting night. Houston only was able to get 2 free throws in this game to Illinois' 21. So they really, it was a bad shooting night from your main scorers. Chris Sinak was 3 of 12. Kingston Flemings was 4 for 10. Emmanuel Sharp, 7 for 16, but he was 3 for 10 from deep.
Yeah.
So they weren't really getting that great of looks. And Chase McCarty being 3 for 7 off the bench as like your spark plug guy. Yeah, it's pretty tough. A lot of Houston's games, even though they're known for having such a good defense, when they lose, it's because the other team is playing very good defense and affecting their shots and generating a few turnovers.
That's the thing, is like it also means that like they're making more shots on Houston and getting set into the defense. Like,
yep.
I think a lot of the times Houston can benefit from them playing great defense, getting a stop, and then it's a little more difficult to get your defense set after a miss or a turnover rather than a made bucket. And they would benefit off of that. So, but yeah, like the second the team can just score or go on a bit of a run, they struggled and they just couldn't keep pace. So that was a really good showing from Illinois there. And then they also finally put a stop to Iowa's run here in the Elite Eight. Despite 24 points from Bennett Stutzman, he got another really fantastic game, 24, 3 and 3. Guy played the entire game, but it just wasn't enough. And I mean, it was like they were kind of like he just didn't get a whole lot of help, man. Like Tavion Banks was 1 of 6. Nobody else was really taking a lot of shots. Like, like 2 of 5 or 2 of 3 isn't horrible efficiency, but like Khalil Combs, Cooper Koch, like Cam Maiawanu just didn't want to like take these shots, man. Like everyone was just kind of defaulting back to Bennett, and it was like, all right, well,
he's already the first read. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. But guys, besides him and Tavion Banks, nobody else attempted more than 5 shots in this. And it's like
it seemed so one-dimensional. Yeah. I mean, Bennett Sturt's got his. He's been improving that draft stock as a senior. A few teams could use that shooting ability.
Well, we haven't even really talked about how fantastic Andres Stojakovic has been. Coming off the bench too for Illinois, but he gives them great minutes. Played 27 in this one. Ended up taking over and finishing this game out over Jake Davis. 17 points. He had 5 rebounds. He's just a really great, well-rounded player. Maybe not as good of a shooter as his dad. Didn't attempt any threes in this one, but he's much better posting up. He's a good rebounder. And he more so prefers to score inside. So, and Wagler, 25 points. I mean, what more is there to say? Kid's a top 5 pick probably at this point.
He's just a bucket. And I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious there that these guys are going to be going pretty early.
Yeah.
Top 20s, 17 points per game. Insane field goal percentage, 44.5. And just taking over in big games like this one in the tournament.
As a freshman, as a freshman player like this, to just like in the Elite Eight matchup like this, take control. And
it's a lot on the line.
Yeah. I mean, he was 8 of 17, so he was shooting pretty well, got to the line and knocked down all of his free throws. And only 2 turnovers. That's like the big thing. Like, protected the basketball. Didn't, they weren't like bad turnovers. Like, Iowa plays good defense. It was like some tough, like, he had to kind of throw a tough pass that got away from him, went out of bounds. And I think the other one was just like I remember correctly, it's just a backside poke away, something like that. So, he just was nothing like egregious, like
It's
very
hard to go a
poised.
full game without
Right.
getting one turnover.
Especially when you're going to touch the ball,
a lot. You're going to have your hands.
I don't even know what his average touches a game are, where he just has the ball in his hands, but it's, probably 70, 80, something like that.
Yep.
It's tough to not turn the ball over when you have it that much. It's going to happen. So, yeah, great composure from this guy. And then Illinois just overall would just swarming the boards, 38 offense or 38 rebounds to just 21 for the Hawkeyes. Going to need to see a little bit better three-point shooting. Illinois is a team that is pretty good at shooting threes. They just weren't really great in this one, but they found other ways to win in this one. But, with the way UConn shot threes in their last game, maybe it won't make that big of a difference. But that does bring us to our final region, the East.
The most insane region.
Yeah, we were saving the best for
30
last.
national championships.
So let's start with Duke St. John's was a very good game as well. You had some really great play from Zuby Ejiofor. Dylan Mitchell was given some great minutes. I also really liked what I saw from Bryce Hopkins, 15 and 7 in this one.
Ruben Prey off the bench making 4 threes.
Yeah, dude, Prey was a big spark plug, man. 4 for 4 from 3. 2
and
rebounds
on a block.
Yeah, and he had a lot of plays that didn't show up on the stat sheet of just really good defense, or he threw the ball off of a Duke player as he was going out of bounds to keep the possession here, just things like that, man. He was giving them some great energy. Cam Boozer did his thing. He got to the line 22 and 10, got 9 free throw attempts, hit 8 of them. Isaiah Evans he had a great game, but that's probably not what people are going to remember from him in this tournament. But 25 points.
Yep.
And
this whole team.
4 boards. It's a really good team, man. They got 11 from Foster off the bench. I mean, they kind of dominated the rebounding margin, especially there in the second half.
40 to 27.
Yeah, 40 to 27. And, this game was close the whole time, but Duke just got some crucial rebounds late. Got to the line. St. John's kind of had the foul. Ended up with fouling 20 times in this game. So, and again, Duke was also just really scoring a lot in the paint. So they just overall it was a really good back and forth game. But I think Duke their talent ultimately ended up outweighing St. John's in the clutch moments. On the other side, though, Michigan State and UConn was another very good game.
This region, the whole way through, was just duking it out with each other.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're really, besides some round 1 blowouts, pretty much close games.
This was the most competitive region, I think.
Yeah. But this game, you had, 4 Michigan State starters scoring 12 or more points, but nobody scored more than 14. So it was 12 to 14 was kind of where they were at. But you'll take that. And again, where your opponent only scores 67, they just weren't quite able to catch them, only scoring 63 here. Terrence Reed, another fantastic game, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots as well.
His whole tournament run has been insane. He went so under the radar all season, just being one of the guys on this team. He was more of a role player, rebounder, not really as much of a scorer during the regular season, but he really has shown.
If we would look at his tournament run so far, 31, 27, and 3 against Furman, 10, 13, and 2 against UCLA, 25 and 4 against Michigan State, and 26, 9, and 3 against Duke. We'll get to in the next round. But yeah, he having just really consistent center play is underrated. Like a good guy that can play defense, affect a lot of shots, and get you some just crucial boards, man. And he's been doing that. He did that in this one as well. So the Caravan, man, 17 and 7 from this guy, also hitting 3 threes as well. They were 9 and 21 from 3, which was, I think, probably the big difference of them winning this one. Neither team, like both teams, were sub 75% on their free throws. Just ultimately being able to hit a few more 3 shots than Michigan State.
Even though they got outscored in the second half, they had enough of a lead where they really already had the game won.
Yep.
They just needed to make some crucial plays there down the stretch.
So we'll see. Fears will be he's a sophomore. I feel like he's probably the type of guy that stays in college. Jordan Scott, a freshman, so you'll still have him. Please, probably Kohler. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's a senior, so gonna have to fill that role. And I believe Cohen Carr is also a senior. As a junior, he might do one more year just because he hasn't been like he's a scoring guy, but he's got an insane college.
He's got a pretty nasty college resume.
Yeah, and you get Carson Cooper you'll have to replace. But then Tom Izzo, Michigan State, they'll be back, but weren't able to get past Hurley and the Huskies in this one. Now we go to, absolutely the game of the tournament.
Duke, UConn.
Maybe a top 10 tournament game of all time.
Seriously, though.
Just a fantastic matchup here. You had, we already talked Reed 26, 9, and 3, 4 block shots and 2 steals as well. Like he was phenomenal. But UConn really struggled to shoot in this one early. They ended up being down by 19 in the second half. But
yeah, they were only 22% from 3.
Kept fighting back. 22 attempts at the line for Duke. Cam Boozer was really good in this one, 27, 8, and 4. Caden, man, he had a good game, and nobody's going to remember that because despite 15, 5, and 6, made the crucial mistake of trying to throw the ball up court, up to after UConn gets a couple free throws, and you're down. They're down 72 to 70. Duke's just got to inbound and trying to get fouled, honestly, but
yeah, they got to let UConn foul there. You're up 2. Like, what are you doing trying to just have the ball out of anyone's hands?
Get the ball up the court.
He didn't miss a free throw all game. I think I would have loved to have him on the free throw line in that moment, in that clutch time moment.
Honestly, I feel like you got the inbound fine. Like, why didn't you just hold it? There's no possible way for you to get a back.
I feel like they were panicking to get it across half court, so they didn't give up that 8-second. But still, there was only 10 seconds on the clock.
I think it was even less than that, man. It was like only 6 to 8 seconds potentially.
Yeah, it was like 6 to 10 seconds left. They probably wouldn't have even got the 8-second.
Yeah. I think in college, isn't it a 10-second? Or am I?
No, it's 8.
It's 8? Okay, I'm thinking something else. But yeah, no, there really wasn't any reason to try to advance it.
Yeah, they had no need.
I think you would have had to make UConn foul you there. So Cam honestly probably shouldn't have even tried to pass it in when he did. And then like things just started getting and going and flowing, and that's where, having a freshman guard can be kind of
detrimental
because that was, like a senior probably would have been like, okay, like crap, like why are we throwing this ball so much? Like let me just hold this. I got two guys closing in, trying to throw some hook shot up over two defenders to get it up court. Not the play there, and got to give credit to Caravan because, like, first of all, Mullins gets that shot right or gets the ball back, gives it to Caravan. You're a senior, this could potentially be your last game of basketball ever. But like, I mean, like you've got a shot there, but it's going to be double cover contested.
He's already having a tough shooting night.
Yeah, you've already
made 1 3.
Like, it could be tempting to try to be the hero because this is, your last game. But I think he made the heady play where he's like, no, you're more open, Braylon. Like, you take this shot. And it was deep, man. I mean, that was
from the logo.
Half court. It was from the logo. And this kid had made a 3 all night. He was 0 for 4 to that point, 3 for 9 on the game. Freshman, man, but just the confidence to just step into that and let it fly. Dude, nothing but net. Pure cinema.
Could hear that net splash when they turn up the volume on the mics on the backboard. Like that was just a perfect shot from that deep.
Absolutely.
Incredible. It looked like Duke just didn't know how much time was left because he shot a wide open 3 and there was a Duke player right in front of him that could have at least like
that was Isaiah Stewart or Isaiah Evans.
It was Evans, yeah,
who had a fantastic the 25 and 10 the game before, and you'll never believe what his handle on Instagram is.
Get a hand up.
Get a hand up. Bro didn't even put a hand up. Just shrugged his shoulders.
He wasn't even looking at Braylon Mullins. He was looking in a different direction. It looked like he was trying to see either the clock or what John Shire was telling him to do.
Yeah. I think in that, like, Shire might have honestly made a mistake. Like, he was kind of waving his hands. Yeah, maybe he distracted his players. Like, in that moment, as, like, a coach, like, you kind of just got to let your guys do their thing and focus on the court and just hope that you've showed them the way.
Yeah.
The whole season. So
then you sent me that clip of them going over that. It was a Bulls Cavs game with like 4.4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, the
last second turnover led to a game-winning shot because they held the ball and like dropped it out of bounds, and there was still time for the other team to make a play. And
I mean, and that situation, because like there weren't a lot of seconds. Like I'm pretty sure it was 6 or 5.5. I don't remember it exactly, but like what like he showed was like the Bulls player getting the missed rebound and just throwing the ball as high as he could into the air because there was 4 seconds left. Shot the game clock expires. You know, you're not going to get a violation or anything, so like it's over. They can't do anything.
Nope.
So honestly, they could have done that. They could have just
thrown the ball up too.
And you have your strong power forward just huck the ball as high as you can. Try to hit the ceiling of the gymnasium, and that's it. Game over. You're in the Final Four. But I know that probably blew up a lot of people's brackets right there with that shot, but that's March, baby. That's why we love it. Look, man, I think that stopped our community bracket from being perfect too, was not having Duke in the Final Four. I don't even care.
I don't.
I root for chaos over my bracket. And that was chaos. We love that. And that's like a top 10 shot in basketball history. I don't know where you would rank that all time, but like, and I'm talking like NBA included. Like there aren't too many more shots that, just given the circumstances, the stakes, how much they were down, just carried more weight in the situation than that shot. It was fantastic. But All right, looks like we've run a little bit past 12 o'clock, but we did get through all of our matchups today.
We did.
Yeah, it was been an incredible tournament so far. I cannot wait for the Final Four and national championships. But we'll probably see some more game winners, man. It's been back and forth all tourney. There's been so many close games. I cannot wait. We'll have it all for you. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with some more sports news. UFL opening weekend, MLB opening weeks gone through. We got NBA and NHL playoff push coming in. NFL draft news to discuss. So we'll have a busy
30
slate.
days.
Yep, busy slate tomorrow. So make sure you're there tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on Military Broadcast Radio. We'll catch you guys then. Signing off.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25 and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.